Which way are Texans fans leaning?
I think they're probably split down the middle between Johnny Manziel and Jadeveon Clowney. I'm a little bit biased myself. I'm a good friend of Coach Sumlin, so I've known him since the U of H days, and I just heard him talk so much about this kid, and then to watch that kid perform was just amazing to see. And to have a player like Johnny Manziel be able to play high school ball, college ball, and professional football all in the same state, I know means a big deal to him. If I was a general manager, I would probably want to bring Johnny Manziel to Houston. But from what I keep hearing, they're probably going to lean somewhere between Clowney and Mack. I think Mack will probably end up being the first pick. That would be my guess.
I don't really have anything to add because, I mean, listen, what they've been saying, I mean, there seems to be questions about Clowney's football character, and there seems to be question about Johnny Manziel's football ability as it pertains to taking him with the #1 overall pick. So I guess the question that comes to my mind, Bun B, would the city of Houston be cool with Khalil Mack being that first overall pick when you've got a box office attraction like Johnny Manziel and #2, a guy like with the athletic ability of a Clowney?
Well, box office wise, the Texans have no problem selling tickets. Our football fan base here is very strong, and very loyal, and which I think has been a blessing and a curse because, generally organizations don't make changes until the fans stop coming to the games. But we won't stop coming to the games. So the Texans organization gets to do pretty much what they want to do. That being said, I think we want a player that's going to perform. I think as much as people want a Johnny Manziel, they're not going to be happy if he doesn't perform. We need no help selling tickets, and Aggies. We have a lot of Aggies fans coming to the Texans game as it is already. I believe in a player like Khalil Mack. I think he's a great person on and off the field. I think he brings the kind of energy, but also dedication. And my only issue would be if a person like Clowney does have performance issues, then that's not going to mesh well if he's next to J.J. Watt anyway, because that kid is 101% committed to getting the job done. So if you're going to put him next to Watt and he's not as committed as Watt, then we defeat the purpose of drafting that player anyway. I think a guy like Khalil Mack is definitely focused and he's ready to give it everything he's got.
Bunby, I don't know Coach Sumlin. Respect him, don't know him. All I know is I watched every game that Johnny Football played at Texas A&M in your state, and I'm on record that the Houston Texans, your Texans, will forever regret it if they don't take Johnny Football #1 overall. So put this in perspective. You say they're 50-50, you think the fans are. How much of a revolt would there be? What would the revolt be? What would the backlash be in the city of Houston if they don't take Johnny Football? And let's say he does, as Mel has him going #4 to Cleveland.
I think it'd be a lot worse if he went to Jacksonville, maybe than Cleveland, because if he goes to Jacksonville, then we got to see that guy twice a year. And then he's coming here, playing us at home with a chip on his shoulder for us not drafting him. I don't want to see that at all. I think there will be there'll be a fair amount of people in Houston that'll be upset with it. But if the player that we do draft, #1, comes in and does what we draft him to do, we'll all be changing our opinions. If Clowney or Mack comes in and can get to Peyton Manning like we need him to get to Peyton Manning and can get to, more specifically Andrew Luck, then we'll be okay with that. But regardless of who we draft, if they don't bring it to the table, the city's going to go AWOL on them anyway. Haywire on them anyway.
Yeah, Bun B, do you personally have any reservations about Clowney going #1 to your team?
Personally, I don't know him personally. All I know is what I hear that everyone else is hearing about maybe he's taking taking plays off and whatnot. I just want somebody that's going to come here and dedicate themselves to the organization. When you have a person like J.J. Watt that comes in and gives you everything he has on every play and on this team, we don't want any less than that. So whoever we bring, we want that level of commitment. We want that level of tenacity. We want that player to want to be here, to want to perform, and to want the city of Houston to be a championship city.
Bun B, I got to ask you this question, my man. It's two parts. Number one, I want you to tell me how come I never saw a parade down the street to Houston the second y'all got rid of Matt Schaub. That's point number one. And number two, I want to know that in light of the fact that you've gotten rid of that quarterback, how much are y'all clamoring for a quarterback to be drafted? Whether it's a Johnny Manziel, a Teddy Bridgewater, who, by the way, I haven't given up on, like these people are calling him a second-round pick. I believe in Teddy Bridgewater personally. I think they're sleeping on him. Whether it's a Johnny Manziel, or Bortles, or Teddy Bridgewater, some quarterback. Do y'all want a quarterback? Or are y'all just satisfied with what y'all are hearing as it pertains to who deserves to be the number one overall pick?
Well, to answer your first question, we don't do exit parades in Houston. To answer your second question, yeah, I believe we definitely need a quarterback. Again, I said it. If I was a general manager, I would probably pick Johnny Manziel. I think we still have issues at the quarterback position. But from what I'm hearing, that we'll probably pick a defensive player with that first pick and probably in the second round pick up a quarterback.